Well, hi all. This morning I've been pairing the birds up. Nest pans won't be going in probably for another 2 or 3 weeks, but I wanted to try and sort out what pairings I could get together. It's been a bit like knitting fog this year. Even though I've got plenty of young birds to choose from, there are the brothers and sisters or wrong type of feather. So I've done my best. See what you think. So I've got on the left of all these double breeding cages is the cockbird, so the hens are on the right. So I've got a non-intensive hen bird there, ivory, to an intensive cockbird. The hen bird is last year's mother to a lot of these, so I'm using her for the second year. Bred really well last year. No need to, don't think they're going to do the same. They're really fit and healthy. I always try and say go non-intensive to intensive, one way back to the other, and I always try and look for a smaller bird with a bigger bird, so either a bigger hen with a small cock or a big cock with a small hen bird. It's not always worked out in these particular cases, so that's one of the pairings. Second pairing, I've got a non-intensive hen with she's got a tick, she's got black tail, so but still it's a lovely bird. And then I've got an intensive cockbird, still a nice bird. This is a really large, and I'm sure it's a hen, but it has been trying to sing but very quietly. So it was with the cockbirds originally, and I was going to use a non-intensive last year's cockbird with her, but unfortunately I lost that bird 2 or 3 weeks ago now. Just found it dead one morning when I came in, so that shot that. So that pairing won't work. So I'm having to put an intensive cockbird with her. I have put 2 intensive birds together before now, and quite often the offspring are you know, a nice bird, take up a good colour of red. The only way I wouldn't do it is to put 2 non-intensive feather birds together. But see, they're a bit out of breath because I've been catching them up. And it's a bit warm in here today. Right, the next pair I've got last year's cockbird. This is a bird out of Peter Finn. So it's a lovely intensive cockbird, quite a big bird. And I'm putting it back to another ivory from last year's mothers. So it's 2-year-old this year. So I'm going to reuse. It is actually a fairly intensive feather, but yet again pairing, I was struggling with pairings, but 2 nice shaped birds, nice size. See how they go on. And then the last pairing I've got down here, I've got quite a nice non-intensive cockbird. It's good colour, pretty even frosting all over his body, so really nice cockbird. And I'm going to put it to this intensive hen who's there. They're all a little bit bewildered because they've all moved out of the flight cages into single cages, so they're a bit quiet at the minute. They have been singing their heads off, the cockbirds. In here I've got, let's move down here a bit, I've got the sun, there we go. I've got the spare hens. Some of them, 2 of them are not looking the best, and I don't think they'll be any good for breeding with. But there's a few spare ones in there. I always try and hang on to 1 or 2 spare hens, because you can sometimes lose a hen during the breeding season. Could get egg bound, or I have had them just dead sitting on the nest before now for no apparent reason. So it's nice to keep on hold of 1 or 2 hens. One of the hens in there is 3 years old this year, but Some of them nice birds to say, but a couple of them not looking quite that good. And then down this end I've got 2 spare cockbirds. I mean, one of my mules are bred from a few years ago. I say I'm still going to be watching out on all the pairings over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Some things may get swapped around. You're never quite sure if you've got it right. There might be some where they don't particularly like to get on with each other much, so I might have to do a bit of swapping around there. Sometimes, you know, just because you want the 2 birds to go together don't mean to say they've got the same ideas. But I mean, the cockbirds are really singing well now. The hens are starting to show some signs. They've been leaping around plenty in the flight cage. They're flying around, hopping around. When the cockbirds have been singing, they've been reacting to that a bit. So there is signs of some movement, but I'm not going to rush them. I'm not in any rush whatsoever. The birds will let me know when they're ready. I'll probably chuck a bit of just loose material into the hens' cages to see if they start picking any bits up, showing any signs. The cockbirds have been ready for a while. They're always ready to, seem to ready to breed. I mean, they're non-stop fighting. I had to split them up because they were so scrapping with each other. It was virtually, they weren't hardly eating. They were just too busy fighting one another, grabbing each other on the floor, holding each other down. So time to split them up, get them in separate cages. Right, hope everybody else is started or thinking about starting or into their breeding season already. Please keep letting me know how your seasons are going on, and I'll try and keep you informed of where I've gone wrong or whatever. None of us have we've never got it right, very rarely. The birds have the last say at the end of the day. It's all about the birds. Okay, take care everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye.